Hello there, my name is Frank Dick. I'm chairman of the board of the LCEF Educational Foundation. And guess what? This is our 30th anniversary. Think of that. We started in 1985. And we started with scholarships because we thought there was a great need in our county. Well, Superintendent Bill Wallace asked if I would serve on the board. And I'm so happy that he did that request, because after 30 years, I looked at the figures and my gosh, it's hard to believe. We have awarded almost 3,900 scholarships. It's an amazing story. And we had contribution from good folks like you. Why do you spend all this time? Why do the board members come to those meetings? Because they feel it's important that the youngsters of Lenawee County have, and particularly my dear wife Shirley, we really believe in helping young people, and we personally are very interested in the development of more scholarships. So my only word to you, if you'd like to honor someone, so maybe it's a grandfather, maybe it's a teacher, you sponsor a scholarship, and another youngster will have an advantage of an education.
Hi, I'm Jim Phillips, Superintendent of the Lenawee Intermediate School District, and the Lenawee Education Foundation is the philanthropic arm of the LISD. Giving away nearly $5 million to students of Lenawee County in the last 30 years, I think, is huge. It makes a huge difference to families and to students to be able to continue their education or to be able to start their education, many of whom would not have been able to do it without the scholarships that they have received.
An endowed scholarship keeps the gifts intact while utilizing the earnings for a scholarship. In general, we recommend $25,000 endowed in order to award a $1,000 scholarship every year forever. The Lenawee Community Foundation currently holds 24 endowed scholarships for the Lenawee County Education Foundation. These are valued at $1.8 million and can award about 70 scholarships every year. I'm involved with the Lenawee County Education Foundation because our children are our future, and the more opportunities we can give to the children in our community, the better our community will be.
The mini grant program was established 20 years ago with United Bank and Trust and the foundation to provide extra enrichment funds for teachers and students and school districts in Lenawee County for programs that can enhance their classroom. Our mini grants are up to $500, so that's the limit. Some of the requests have been phenomenal. They've been teachers requesting hydroponic materials for their classrooms so the students can experience a different way of growing plants and products. Building supplies for rockets, for a science class to do a rocket experience, for speakers to come into the classroom to enrich maybe an author that has written a book, how to write a book, that sort of thing. I believe in education. I believe in students having great experiences because they question, they like to problem solve. So the mini grants we look at, and I'm on the committee to select the teachers that have been chosen, are people who look beyond the book, you know, just something that's going to make their classroom exciting, and for the students to say, oh boy, that's how that happens. So that's what makes me excited about the mini grant program.
Strokes for Students is an event that We put together about 20 years ago, this is our 20th year for the event. It was a golfing tournament and a way to raise additional funds for students for scholarships. And the format is that of a pro-am format where you have one student playing as the pro and you have a team of 4 other local business people or other participants. And so it gives the community an opportunity to interact and play with those students. Initially, the objective was for scholarships for each one of the schools in the county. So there's 13 $1,000 scholarships that are giving each year. Plus we have another scholarship that was started called the Mulligan Scholarship, which is just an extra one. Also the teacher mini grants, about $5,000 a year goes to teacher mini grants. It also gives them a little extra money for special programs that aren't in the budget. And most recently we've been funding the new job readiness program out of those funds as well. If you can help a young man or woman with additional education and help support them, they are the future of our country. And anything you can do to help give them a leg up or help them continue their education is a positive thing.
The Job Readiness Program is a scholarship program for Lenawee County citizens for funding, for training, so that they might get meaningful employment or improved employment. Dr. Frank Dick, who is our chairman of the Lenawee Education Foundation, realized that there was a need for training for our citizens which were unemployed or underemployed. And he also understood that many of our businesses had need for skilled labor that we were unable to fill from the local labor force. It's a win for our citizens in terms of employment. It's a win for our businesses and a qualified skilled labor force. And it's a win for our community and an improved quality of life. I too recognize as a former employer the need for good skilled labor. And I also, as a volunteer in the community, understand that we have many people that need jobs, good jobs. And it's a great fit. We have coordinated with LCAN and South Central Michigan Works and Cradle to Career to identify needs and money and mentoring. And if anybody is interested in finding out more, they can contact South Central Michigan Works, which is located in the Lenawee Human Services Building in Adrian for more information or eligibility.
Well, the main one that we started out with was Lenawee Community Foundation, and they hold endowed funds for scholarships. And we've had that relationship since our beginning. More recently, we're working with South Central Michigan Works on our job readiness program, and they do the intake screening, and we work together on providing funding for those that need employment, that might be graduating from high school, not going to college, or that have been out of high school and are looking for employment. So that's a collaboration, and we're beginning to work with the Lenawee College Access Network, looking at a mentoring program for those in our job readiness program. So those are 3 primary ones. We also work with Lenawee Now, the economic arm of the county, because they're identifying job needs for us for our job readiness program. When I was a banker and I retired, reflecting on what I enjoyed most, it was helping people. And when Jim Phelps the intermediate school district superintendent called me because of a retirement of the executive director and talked to me. It piqued my interest because I knew the trustees. I wanted to get back engaged with the community, and it was a thrill to be thinking of helping over 300 students a year with their future educational endeavors. So that's really what got me excited and continues to excite me.
The Elizabeth Wilson Foundation is a nonprofit organization that supports cultural life in Lenawee County. We are furthering the vision of our founder, Elizabeth Wilson. She was active throughout her entire life in music. She not as a career, but as a hobby, and she taught music lessons well into her 80s. So she's a pretty remarkable woman, and we're glad to continue her vision. We have 3 scholarships. We have our college scholarship. That was our first scholarship. It started in 2003, and that is for specifically students that are studying music or performing arts as a career. And then we have our camp scholarship, and that is our biggest scholarship program. Over 900 have been given since 2003. And it's over $250,000 worth of scholarships. About 50 to 60 students every year apply and go to summer camps to study either music or their dance, Blue Lake, MASTA, etc. We're really pleased to work with the Lenawee County Educational Foundation because without it we couldn't maintain our scholarship program. With 50 to 60 applications a year, that wouldn't be possible to process. And the Lenawee County Educational Foundation also puts us out there with all of the county scholarships, so our scholarship is well known. And I think we had 52 applicants for our scholarship this year. That was the very first scholarship for our dedicated musicians. So we were kind of like, oh, we were only going to give 1, so we ended up choosing and giving 3 scholarships this year. So we're excited about that. So we know we couldn't do this without the Educational Foundation. My husband grew up next door to Elizabeth Wilson, and she was kind of part of the family. And when my mother-in-law became president of the foundation, because I'm a music teacher, she really wanted my perspective on things.
The Meyers Foundation is a foundation in Tecumseh, Michigan, founded by Nydia and Alan Meyers. Alan was an aviation pioneer from the Tecumseh area, fairly well known actually among aviation people, however probably not too well known in Tecumseh and Adrian, unfortunately. But upon Alan's death, near 1966 is when the foundation was started and established, but Nydia then continued that foundation, and the purpose of it is to give students in Lenawee County sort of a start in their education from in sciences and aviation. And so it was the wish of Nydia to try to keep the memory of her husband alive by helping students in Lenawee County. Upon Nydia's passing a number of years ago, we also endowed a scholarship in her honor as well. So our scholarship, our awardees are for the Meyers Foundation. However, we have 2 special scholarships, one for Alan and one for Nydia, for those who might be going into aviation or another one who might be going into chemistry. I happen to have the privilege of knowing Nydia back in the beginning, and she recruited some of us from around that she knew. She was in acroscopy. She's a chemist, but also did some teaching at Siena at the time. And so she recruited. She was very, very good at that. We have been involved in the foundation ever since.
A memorial scholarship has allowed our family to honor my husband in the way he lived. He was a man who had an insatiable appetite for knowledge. And what better way to honor his past than by giving to the future? of someone in Lenawee County on their educational pursuits. Well, the partnership, the strong partnership between the LCEF and the LISD over decades is very strong, and it made the decision very easy for our family. Their commitment to community and learning are just tall in our eyes. Honoring someone that you've loved is a very personal decision. Establishing a memorial scholarship allows you to honor the way your loved one lived, their contributions to our community. And remembering them year after year with a memorial scholarship not only allows his legacy or her legacy to continue, but you're also giving back to your community.